Hey everybody, welcome back to 3 Generations Restoration. We got ourselves a couple new tractors to show you that we've gotten over the past few weeks. 2 have come from some auctions and 2 have come from private owners. The old October weather is also starting to roll in. As you can kind of see, it's overcast and 60s right now up here in the Chicagoland area. Pretty soon we're going to be winterizing everything, but we're still buying, still selling, and kind of just wanted to show you guys what we got recently. I guess we can start off with this Farmall H here. We picked this up at an auction in Sharon, Wisconsin. What's really nice about this is it's got the wide front end on it. I know it's not an international wide front end, at least I don't think it is. It's got a kind of an odd tie rod that's on the front. My grandpa had mentioned that he knew what it was, but he didn't tell me. He told my old man. Serial tag is missing on the other side. Should be on the other side, but you guys can kind of see it's also right here. 138175. That makes this a 1941, I believe, or I know it's World War II era. It's got the paper belt pulley on it. Tires are in good shape, as you can see. I mean, they're weather checked, but they hold air, so that's all I can ask for. Teeth look sharp on the throttle. Obviously the lights don't work. Missing the shifter knob. It's okay. Missing the PTO guard. You can kind of still see some of that old decal right there. US patent. Pretty neat. No PTO cover. We have a lot of those, so I can always fit this up with one of those. It's kind of got an odd manifold. I haven't really seen one like this where I think this is a heat box, if I'm thinking right. Carburetor does look like it leaks a little bit. This tractor does run, so like I said, we picked it up at the auction. Thought it would be a good little tractor, and I think the wide front does a really good gives it a really good touch. And I think when this thing's all painted up, I think it'll look really nice. All right, so moving on to the next tractor we recently purchased. We got ourselves a Minneapolis-Moline, and I believe it's a U. Here's the engine model, 4 1/4 by 5-inch bore, I believe. That's what that means. 4 1/4 inch stroke by 5-inch bore, or the other way around. It's got this really ornate distributor cover that I always like on these old minis. It's got the fenders in place. The hood's in not bad a shape, aside from a little bit of damage here, a little damage here, and a little rust on the other side. Missing where the lights are. It's kind of got that really neat manifold on it. This is the same one I believe that we have that is on our Twin City that I was going to show you today. Looks like it's got a little hydraulic setup on it. I'll show you, but we got a couple remotes on the back. It's a UTU, so it's a Minneapolis-Moline UTU. This one also runs. This was picked up at the local auction. I was away. The only thing that's kind of bad about this tractor is the rims. You can see there's not much good about this rim. In fact, I think it's probably going to blow if I were to drive it much more. This other side is okay. It's definitely got some rot, but I think we can make do there. Fenders are in okay shape. Got a hole in this side, but I really like this open setup here, these Minneapolis-Molines. So I think we clean this up. This will be a pretty cool looking tractor. So we'll take you guys to the next one. All right, this is another one we also have recently purchased in the past few weeks. This is a 1940 Farmall H. We picked this up, I believe, 1 hour north of us. Gosh, I can't think of the town. But this was actually a tractor that was featured on YouTube. If I remember the guy's YouTube page, I'll throw it in the description. You guys can see where this thing really came from. It was like 3.5 hours up north is where the guy picked this up at. It's got some good things going for it. It's got some decent front tires, although this front tire here is bigger than the other one. Sheet metal's in good shape. Carburetor looks like it was rebuilt. Battery box is in place. It charges. It's got that odd manifold I mentioned before. The lights work. The PTO is in good shape. Looks like it's got a good... Oh yeah, okay. It had an adapter on it at one point to go bigger. The belt pulley on this thing is in really good shape. And supposedly this guy we bought it from used this tractor to power some sort of like a thresher machine, and they would do stuff up at the Edgerton Thrashery. I thought this was kind of cool. You can just barely make this out, but it says The Beast, and there's a picture of like a creature. And I was trying to figure out what this meant, but I can't seem to see what it says. The only other things I noticed that were the best is the tires. Tires are, I would say, round and black. They hold air. The rims are in good shape, but they are round and black. They're pretty shot. But the good kicker with this deal is that we got a nice set of rims and a nice set of tires for it. So got some kinks to get rid of on this tractor. Got a lot of leaks, as to be expected with a nearly 80-year-old tractor. Actually 80-year-old, yeah. So another nice one here. Here is the fourth and final recent purchase, and it is another Farmall H. We have literally bought 3 Farmall H's in the past 2 weeks, guys. I don't know. I love Farmall H's. They're just American history. I mean, they made a lot of them. They're easy to work on. They always sound good. And they're just like the perfect size. We picked this up. This, I believe, was 30 minutes away from us. And it's got brand new carb fenders, which I believe the one that we just saw didn't have fenders. 6-volt system that charges. Here's that manifold that I'm used to seeing with the little drop down here. Now supposedly it's got this X6 part that's on the serial number here. Supposedly that means that this tractor's got a low first gear, which I tested. I'd have to compare to the others, but it does seem a little slower. It's got a tow hook on the front. Like I said, charges, got a rebuilt starter. Really nice tractor overall. Oh, completely rebuilt engine we got too in this thing. New pistons, springs, liners, whole 9 yards. The only thing I think this thing could need is a steering wheel and a new muffler, because when I went to clean it off and steam it, I popped this muffler off and the flange just sat here and the rest popped right off. It essentially split in half. So we'll have to get a new muffler for that. But these are the 4 recent purchases that we've had at 3 Generations Restoration. So you'll be seeing them, most of them, in the near future. But I did want to kind of show you guys around real quick and show you some things that we've been working on, some things that you maybe will see in the future on 3 Generations Restoration. So the first thing is the Twin City MT is finished. So we had a lot of quirks with this tractor. You guys, if you're watching, you saw the video where we got it running. So we got it running good. The only other things that we really had to do to this thing was give it an oil change. I had to repack this nut here for the water pump. I had to repack the nut and actually fix this nut for the oiler that feeds the shaft that drives the magneto. This nut here was actually cracked, so what I did was I ground out the crack, clamped it down, and I started it on the threads and I re-welded it, and it turned out great. It tightens up again and it stopped leaking oil there. What else did I do? Oh, that's right. We had this thing all together and we were ready to get it painted up, and shoot, the tank was leaking. So we relined the tank, we patched the tank, it's not leaking anymore. And man, that Twin City decal really makes this tractor pop. So overall, we did decide to go Battleship Gray just because I consulted with a few people and this is the color it should be. It should not have been yellow. So yeah, this may have to become a staple of our collection, but if the right buyer comes along and I think the last and final thing that I'm going to leave you guys with is the W30. You guys remember we finished this up a while ago. So this one had a 2-stage tank, you know, where you'd have kerosene in one side and gasoline in the other. Started on gas, switch it over to kerosene, and you know, at our stage of American farming, you don't need kerosene anymore. You use gasoline most of the time. And we parked it and let it sit. I mean, I started every now and then, but I looked at it one day and I saw this. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. What in the hell happened here? And I come up here and I look in here, and sirens are going off. Looks like someone's running from the cops or something happened. But long story short, here the tank had a hole in it in the starting tank, which I didn't put any gas in, so the baffle between the two tanks must have rotted out slowly and we didn't notice it, and it started slowly seeping out and all that. So we repatched the tank, relined it, and repainted it. So I do have to fix all this up before I put the tank back on, but sucks, all the work, and now I gotta do some fixing on it. I thought this thing was perfect, but sometimes you get some tractors that, you know, like to give you a little bit of a hiccup now and then, just like I just hiccuped right there. But yeah, fall is starting to set in, I think, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the paint room, 11 in the shop. We got 11 tractors right now, guys, that need our attention. And you know, I work full days at CAT, so I get time every night from 3:45 to whenever I think about it, and then weekends. But sometimes I like to spend a little time relaxing. Sometimes tractors aren't always on my mind, but the antique iron is waiting, and all this will eventually be bright and shiny again, the way that they're intended to be. I know some people like the original patina, but in my opinion, if a tractor's been painted over 15 times, I don't think that you're gonna get to the original patina. So, but yeah, give you a little bit of a view here of what we got. So I just want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Got a big auction coming up here in a couple days, a bunch of Alice Chalmers stuff. We'll let you know how that goes. We'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.